So instead of thinking of how I'm gonna win, I need to be thinking about if I am comfortable losing and if I've done everything that I could do to feel at peace. Hey guys, it's Hope. Welcome to a journaling video where I'm going to be showing you the trades that I placed on the NASDAQ and for gold from the week of October 7th, and I'm just going to be going over them right now. For the NASDAQ, as of lately, I have not been trading on Mondays. I just don't have the psychology. I just don't have the mental capacity to be trading on Monday and have a probability mindset because I'm just a little too eager to enter. So I started trading on Tuesday, and what happened was we had this swing low here, and that swing low is a part of my setup at the 8-hour chart. I always base all of my analysis off of the higher time frame chart. For me, that is the 8-hour chart. This is a part of my plan because when I have a swing low and I have a pattern at the 10-minute, I am triggered to buy. This is one of my buy models. I'm not sure which one they are. I have it labeled A, B, C, and E. I can go over all of my setups with you in another video, but I have around 4 setups that I would say I'm more or less comfortable with losing using these setups. And so this is where that 8-hour swing low is at the 10-minute, and I entered around 9:40 a.m. and I took profit at the high of, I would say at the high of this candle. The 8 hours showed me my buy signal, and it aligned with the 10-minute signal as well, and that signal is when I have some kind of a double top. Preferably, I would like price when I am looking to buy. I would like price to do kind of like this kind of a movement and then come to make a double top, trade into some kind of an FVG, and then I would like price to go up from there. This is that FVG right here that I had entered in, and that was my reason to enter my buy here. This was my model, and it did create this double top. What it didn't do was have this movement here where I would have liked a clear low high and a lower low. And since that didn't happen, I was confident here because this was below opening price. Here's opening price at 8:30. First signal was the swing low, and then the second signal was this imbalance where price traded into that imbalance. And then here's that movement of the 8-hour wick trading into that imbalance right there. That is the movement here at the 10-minute chart, and I was aiming towards, so I was aiming for this high here, and I was also looking at like this high here as well. This high here was I was looking at, and I was also looking at this high. So I was targeting the structures to the left. And what price did was, there was some volatility that the market had experienced around 9:20 to 10 a.m. and I was taken out in this area. This is a little frustrating because I have the right bias, but I couldn't have anticipated the volatility, even if I had placed a proper stop loss, because I would say my stop loss was in a pretty generous area. I think I had my stop loss right around here, and it wasn't like a very tight stop loss in my opinion. So that is the 2 trades I placed for the NASDAQ. The next instrument I would want to show you all the trades that I placed on is gold. Last week I didn't have a very good week. Around 3:50 a.m. I didn't have a sell signal. I wasn't thinking actually on this trade, so this wasn't a signal to sell. What I was looking at, I remember now, was this is my sell signal, but I think I would have been too late. Because I had the sell signal here, I was aiming for this low, the low of this candle. I want to look to sell when price is consolidating. When I see some kind of a wick that takes out previous candles wicks, I would be looking to sell in that area. But since that happened here, this is where that action happened at the 10-minute chart. This is the action of the wick trading into all of the previous candles wicks at the higher time frame. I should have been looking to enter somewhere in this area, but because I couldn't, I was kind of expecting price to continue. I was expecting for price to continue using that signal that I had to bring price lower. That was a loss. That price had created my signal, meaning that it was making a high, low, and a higher high, and then I would be looking for that low here to be broken, and then trading into some kind of an FVG and then come down. This was what price was doing at the 10-minute chart, but I was not following the right time frame. I wasn't biasing my trade idea on the correct time frame. So this was a signal at the 10-minute, and I'm recognizing my patterns better, but I need to be marrying it with the higher time frame. And I was just leaning a little too much on the lower time frame and not realizing that that was an expired signal. And then around 6:30 I placed a buy because I found price with this wick here at the higher time frame. With this wick right here, I saw that as a buy signal, and when this wick took out the previous candle's wicks in a kind of a consolidation, I used this signal and this pattern of price creating a low, high, lower, low, price coming to kind of create a double top and then trade into some kind of an FVG and then coming up to these relative equal highs. I've been really liking price targeting relative equal highs, and I've been also really liking price selling off from relative equal highs as well. This wasn't a higher time frame signal, so I didn't take this signal, even though it did trade it into relative equal highs. I would have liked for the wick here action to happen at the higher time frame as a signal and at the 10-minute, and since that didn't happen, I just targeted these equal highs. One thing that I am doing that I like is recognizing my patterns at the 10-minute and kind of learning to give myself more of a window to observe how price reacts, and it gives me a little bit more distance between me and the buy or sell button, which I really need to incorporate into my trading, is this window of observation and not acting. And I need to be able to recognize when I need to be watching and when I need to be waiting, and what I'm feeling the period before I press the entry button. And I've been doing that inside of FVGs. When price creates my signal at the lower time frame for buys, it would be low, high, lower, low, some kind of a double top, and then I want price to trade back into some kind of an FVG, and this is the area where I need to be observing, because a lot of the times when price comes into this area, it can either do one of two things, and that is consolidate before coming up, or it just pushes through, or it just quickly taps into it and it comes up, depending on the volatility. And this window is where I need to be observing. What I need to do better is following my higher time frame signal, as well as the patterns I recognize at the 10-minute, and being disciplined in that way. The next trade I placed was on Wednesday, and the reason why is because price traded into an imbalance at the higher time frame. So that imbalance is seen right here, and when price did that, when I saw this happening, first and foremost at the higher time frame, at my story time frame as my main time frame, the 8-hour chart is my main time frame. I need to keep saying that until I remember that. I would be happy to lose in that situation. And I think this is something that I need to change in my mindset, is I'm not looking to say I'm confident in winning because of A, B, and C. I want to change my mindset into saying I'm comfortable losing when A, B, and C. I'm the most comfortable losing. I'm a very risk averse person. I have very low risk tolerance. I'm trying to expand my ability to take losses and not take them personally. It's just something that I am working on, and trading has humbled me because it really is a probability game, and I need to be able to accept the loss. And I'm just not a very I'm not a risk taker, I guess. I'm just not a risk taker. I don't like risks. So instead of thinking of how I'm gonna win, I need to be thinking about if I am comfortable losing, and if I've done everything that I could do, that if losing this trade, I've done everything that I could do to feel at peace. So this is that area where price at the higher time frame, at the 8-hour, this is where that 8-hour wick traded into that imbalance. And when that happened, you were already in a downtrend at the higher time frame. I was looking at this imbalance to potentially take price lower. I didn't know how much lower. I didn't have any other targets at the higher time frame other than this low here. But I was just looking to take price to this candle wick's low, this low. And when that happened, I sold the market in this area around 250, and then I sold again because my stop loss was taken at 350, and price just didn't decide to come to that low. It eventually did, but no matter where I would have put my stop loss at this initial signal, because I would have put my stop loss here, I would have been taken out regardless. I am very happy in hindsight, because during this I was very frustrated, and I need to just have a little more patience with myself, because initially when this happened I was frustrated because it did come eventually to that target. According to my signal, I would have had no entries where my stop loss wouldn't have been taken, because my only entry that makes sense to me was this here. This was the only entry that I have an edge on, but what happened was price just did its thing as it does, took me out, and then it comes down. Maybe expand my setup into entering at the 1 minute in this area. Was this here. This is where price reacted at the 8-hour chart, and this was that FVG at the 10-minute. If I entered here when price kind of breaks this low, trades into that FVG, and it's not part of my my setup plan yet, but if that was the case, I would have caught like 75 bars. But my most comfortable entry is when price trades into that FVG at the 10-minute. I know I said that I don't like to trade Mondays, but I'm still working on that. I was testing myself. Obviously I failed. And those are all my trades for last week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.